There's a simple concept that you can apply, and a lot of people ask me, how do you make up licks? How do you make up musical ideas? Well, let's talk about what a musical idea is to begin with. And I think from that'll open the door for you to be able to create musical ideas and improvise over things that you might have thought you never could improvise over. Let's take a concept. Let's listen to a group of notes that I'm going to play in a direction, the contour, and let's talk about what makes it musical. So here's a very famous piece of music, and I'm going to play all the notes in it. Here we go. You recognize it? Probably not. That's because I didn't add the key ingredient, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now I'm going to add the key ingredient that makes this musical. Right? Most of you recognize that within the first couple notes. And that is because there was a rhythmic phrase involved. Rhythm. Rhythm is the key. Not notes. Not even the melodic choices of that. It's the rhythm that identified that. If the rhythm is strong enough, or the rhythmic phrase is strong enough, it's going to connect to people. I could use that same group of notes and change them up with the same phrase and get another piece of music that is my own. Right? So that's just taking the same idea, mixing the notes up in a different order, a different contour, and it still sounded like a musical piece. So let's talk about what is a musical phrase. What's a rhythmic phrase? It's simple. If you've ever had anybody knock on your door, you already know one that almost everybody knows, and that's this one. Right? That's shaving a haircut. So let's say I only knew, a few notes. Let's say I just knew A minor pentatonic and only could remember the first two strings. Right? So do this for an exercise. Do this as an experiment just to see if you can come up with musical ideas. I'm going to take that same rhythmic phrase over 4 notes so I'm not overwhelmed with choices. So here we go. Right? So nothing brilliant, but at least that was an attractive phrase that could get somebody's attention. It's memorable. It's something that people can instantly recognize. And that's because it was a group of notes that were masked in a rhythmic phrase that everybody already knows. So I could take that a step further. I could put it over the entire scale and work around with it and maybe come up with some different ideas. There you go. So that's shaving a haircut, and I'm basically stealing a rhythmic idea, a strong rhythmic idea, and applying it over groups of notes. I can do that over the same notes that we did Joy to the World. Right? I added an extra note in there because I heard it. And that's what you'll begin to do, because once you start using rhythmic phrases like this, it opens up ideas. You start to become more creative with your playing. You don't have to rely on learning new scales, new arpeggios. You can use the same stuff you know and get more mileage out of it. And that's what I recommend you do. If I move to another country and I start learning their language, what's going to get me farther? If I just keep learning random words and I can't make a cohesive sentence out of it, or if I learn to use the words I know, the few words I know, and make sentences that get me what I want. Ask questions. Describe things. What would get me farther? just randomly saying words or saying few words that make sense. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take possibly the few notes you know or the large group of notes that you know. And the reason you feel stuck is probably because you haven't been able to make sense of it, because you're missing that key ingredient. And that key ingredient is rhythm. If it grooves, your ear, if you have a good enough ear, which most of you do if you enjoy music, you'll be able to hear where it needs to go in that group of notes to make it sound like a musical idea. And you might have to play with this and work with it for a little bit. Record yourself. Listen to what you come up with. And then come up with your own phrases. I can take a couple ideas. I can take another phrase that's a very basic song that everybody knows. Maybe it sounds like this. Right? That's We Will Rock You. So now I'm going to mix Shaving a Haircut with We Will Rock You and see what happens. So. Right? You may not enjoy some of the choices that I chose on that. That's completely random. But if you work at it, you could actually use those phrases and come up with some decent ideas. And that's how it works. You just take rhythmic phrases over the notes you already know, practice incorporating them, learn more rhythmic phrases. Don't learn more notes. Learn how to use the notes you already know effectively, and then build on your harmonic knowledge or your vocabulary. So that's all we have for today. I'm Brian Auer. Be sure and like and subscribe and share this video if it helped you. Thanks for watching, and until next time.